Robert was exonerated and determined to be wrongfully convicted after spending 37 years in prison for Barbara's murder. 31-year-old Linda Lanson was a photographer from New York and a mother to her 7-year-old daughter. She had moved from New York to Tampa, Florida, where she was living with her niece, Linda. On the evening of July 10, 1983, she left her apartment for unknown reasons, but she never returned home. On July 11, 1983, her body was found by a jogger. She was partially clothed and was found in the bushes off a dead-end road with a gunshot wound to the head. The next day, her car was found abandoned on a residential street about 10 miles from where her body was found. Not long after this, her purse was found on the side of a road in Clearwater, Florida, a city about 20 miles outside of Tampa. 1 month later, in August of 1983, 19-year-old Barbara Grams was walking home from her job at the mall, but she never made it back. Her body was discovered on the 19th. She had been dumped behind a dentist's office in the Tampa Heights area. Police's first suspect in Barbara's case was a man named Robert Dubois. He was 18 years old at the time of the murders, and a resident of the area passed his name on to police, saying that he caused problems in the neighborhood. Dubois was questioned by police, and he agreed to let them take a dental mold to compare to a bite mark that was found on Barbara's cheek. The 2 bite marks were determined to be a match by forensic odontologist named Dr. Richard Souvenron, and he was charged and convicted for Barbara's murder. Dr. Souvenron gained notoriety just a decade earlier for his work on the Ted Bundy case, where he provided testimony about the bite marks found on Bundy's victims. Robert was initially sentenced to death, but in 1988, his sentence was reduced to life in prison plus 15 years. Robert denied any involvement in the murder and got in contact with the Innocence Project to help him fight this conviction. They were able to use DNA taken from Barbara after her body was found to compare to Robert's DNA, and it didn't match. Robert was exonerated and determined to be wrongfully convicted after spending 37 years in prison for Barbara's murder. It was later revealed that the mold taken of Robert's teeth was made using beeswax, which isn't an acceptable medium for dental molds. Additionally, Dr. Souvenron claimed that the suspect would have a missing front tooth or a gap between his teeth, 2 characteristics that Robert didn't have. To make matters worse, a separate dentist later examined Barbara's wound and determined that it was not even a bite mark at all. After this, the district attorney did some more investigating to determine who was actually responsible for Barbara's death. After doing some DNA testing, the DA realized that it was not 1, but 2 men responsible for Barbara's murder, and that they were also responsible for many more crimes in the Tampa area in the 80s. DNA matches proved that 58-year-old Amos Robinson and 57-year-old Abron Scott were found to be responsible for the deaths of both Barbara Graham and Linda Lanson. Both of them are already serving life sentences for other unrelated murders, those of Herminia Castro and Carlos Orellana, which happened within months of Linda and Barbara's. Since he's been in prison, Robinson has killed 2 other inmates and is serving 3 life sentences for first and second-degree murder, kidnapping, and robbery. Scott is serving 1 life sentence for first-degree murder, kidnapping, robbery, and burglary.